you know?
Yeah. And I'll look at, like I said, I normally will do it through the MLS first, so I have a sense of which ones I think it stacks up best against. And so if when
Right.
I run the CMA through Perplexity, if it's pulling in random stuff where I'm like, that's not really like it went back too far in time is one example of this one that it did for me. Um,
Yeah.
and and I didn't want it to go back that far, right? I was like, I don't want it. It
Right.
literally went back 2 years. I was like, no, we're not doing that.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't work. That's not a good comp. Fan radius.
I did.
Nothing else is fan. What's up, Dan?
You guys have been doing all right. Just hanging out.
Hey,
All right.
Morning.
Sounds like Christina's talking about AI.
Dude, I've been really
Ahí en
leaning into it.
español.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
it's also my thing too.
Well, so
Really
far
helps
this
a lot.
weekend, Dan, I've used Perplexity for a CMA for a listing appointment. I've used Claude AI to make that seller strategy PDF. And then, as you know, I took my text messages from my most difficult client ever in my freaking life, uploaded it into chat, and was like, basically, how do I communicate with this totally off the wall person?
Who else is using technology to help them communicate better?
I
I
do.
am.
I am.
If you're
Mhm.
not,
I
you
do.
are wrong. Hear me when I say this. I am super proud of you, Christina, that you're leaning in on this. You have a lifeline, a lifetime full of sales knowledge and people connection, and you're still utilizing AI to help you with a tough situation. With someone that most people would struggle with, you're going to find a win.
Oh,
Everyone,
I'm struggling.
yeah, everyone can benefit from having this AI assistant in your pocket. And the assistant's as simple as here's the conversation, here's what's happening, here's the context. Help me understand what I'm seeing, what I'm not seeing. AI, guys, is not here to think for you. It's here to help you think better. Have it on your phone, have it on your computer, have something. BrokerBot, you guys all get for free, and it's nearly as powerful as anything else you can pay for. I am
Dan, can I
actively
chime in?
working on helping getting stronger. Yeah, what do you got, Maggie?
I was just going to say, BrokerBot, you brought it up 100 times, and I had never used it until about a month ago. It's amazing, and it saves me from having to text you every 5 seconds.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the text. I don't mind the questions, but it's a resource for you guys to use. And is BrokerBot always 100% correct?
No.
Am I ever 100% correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Max. But no, I'm human. We'll have biases. Kevin, what do you got?
I was just gonna say I struggled over Friday trying to get that other MLS access and get access to that lockbox for my client, and it was a struggle trying to get that put together and that direct line of step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get that done. And even if I could, nobody really thought that I was going to be able to get it done in that time frame to be able to show my client property the very next day, but I got it done. And I tried to use AI, I tried to use some things, and it was just one of those situations to where I just had to go old school and knock on doors and talk to people. Um, but the am also using AI a lot in other areas.
Do you have any clothes on?
You good?
So that's just kind of both sides of it. AI really helps me a lot, and sometimes it doesn't. But definitely a great tool to have, and old school tools still can still work as well. But I love having both of them.
Eric, put your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. Damn it, boy.
My kids are always sacrificed for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, happy Monday.
I'm excited to work with another client today on trying to get their house rented and property managed for them.
Yeah. Kevin's doing business. Love that. What are the wins you guys got from the weekend?
I met a seller lead when I bought a car for my daughter yesterday. He mentioned he was going to sell his house, and I totally snagged him.
You're all, here's this. Sell me your car and I'll sell your house.
I did that with a boat.
Dude, that's
I got a
awesome.
listing and another listing from buying a boat from a neighbor.
Well, clearly that person doesn't make good financial decisions. They owned a boat.
I bought it.
Mikey and I went to the top of Ora Valley and one of the nicest houses in Tucson and met a really interesting individual. That was fun.
I'm closing today on one of my lists, with one of my buyers today.
Yeah, you. Serena's just a little sniper. She's like, I closed the deal today, like my 30th this week. Trey, what do you got?
I landed that listing on Thursday, then I landed another listing on Friday.
Yeah, you did.
And both of those are going live this Thursday.
Love that.
My buyer got pre-qualified, knows exactly what they want to buy. I have 2 more high intent buyers that know what they want to buy. I'm meeting both of them today. Those other 2.
Perfect, guys.
3 so far.
Yeah. We had a listing go live and a listing go under contract in a 24-hour period. Cassie had like 30 different groups of people, not just 30 people, 30 groups of people through an open house. So business is out there. Gotta go find it.
Oh, I do want to mention that AI did assist me in tracking down what I needed for the MLS debacle.
Good. It points you in the direction. That's all you need.
Exactly.
All right. It's Monday. It's a mindset reset. And I mean, we can continue the conversation around AI or we can have a mindset journey. What do you want?
Both.
Mindset journey.
Okay. Since Max is the only one that really spoke up and Kevin said both, I think we'll do both. Mostly mindset, though. Are you preparing yourself for the business you're going to have? Or are you working for it right now?
Say that again?
Are you preparing for the future? Are you building for where you're going? Or are you trying to prepare for right now?
Building for where I'm going.
Okay. Eric's building for where he's going. What do I mean by that? Building for where you're going.
Laying the groundwork for your dreams or your goals, where you're trying to get to, and doing the work right now to make that happen.
There's one of them, yeah.
Following up with the people that aren't under contract and
Well, there's part of it, yeah. Follow up, doing your follow up and stuff like that. What I would say is when you're building a business, when you're building a life for yourself, you're building for where you're going, not for where you're at. Well, I don't need to use AI. I'm not that busy yet. I don't need to have a website. I don't have that kind of online presence
yet.
Right. I don't need to worry about sellers because I only work with buyers.
And
Right
you're never
now.
going to with that attitude.
Exactly. But that's the thing is a lot of people don't realize that you should be preparing and setting yourself up for the future well before you ever get there. How many new agents struggle writing a contract the first time?
I like that.
Probably all of them.
Most of
All of them. So if you know 100% of new agents struggle writing a contract, do you want to write a contract when you have an active buyer?
I write one before.
Okay. Just one?
No, a bunch until you're
Okay.
familiar with it.
There are agents in this business that don't ever look at the purchase contract until they're pulling it out for the first time and filling it out in DocuSign or whatever transactional management system they have. Is that preparing for where you're going? No. that is setting yourself up for failure. Some of my more seasoned agents on the call, you can tell me how many times have you gotten an offer come back to you as a listing side that was just bullet holes, Swiss cheese in practice.
Quite a
It
few.
makes you look stupid. Fill them out right. Like I had the VP of the biggest real estate company in Tucson send me an offer yesterday on Saturday. I know this guy. This guy knows me. Love him to death. He made 2 critical errors on the contract that would have cost his clients thousands of dollars.
This is my scariest part, is the repetition of getting it down before I get too busy.
And that's the thing, is do it now. Every day, read the contract. Every day. Take a contract, print it out, go through with a red pen and mark everything you think you need to put on there. Circle, highlight, get comfortable with it. That is preparing for where you're going. Same thing with the listing contract. Go through the listing contract, know what's on it, what documents need to go with what type of houses, know where to find them in the system. Become prepared for where you're going. Christina gave you guys a fantastic resource today. That seller success guide, right? What'd you call it, Christina? Yeah, your seller success guide. I freaking love it. It's a simple tool. Use it to see where you're going in. Create yourself a buyer packet, a seller packet. Prep for where you're going. Well, my database isn't that clean. Prep for where you're going. My email isn't organized. Prep for where you're going. This becomes routine. I've got agents like one deal and they struggle trying to find files on their computer somewhere. If that's you, prep for where you're going. Create a file structure. Mine happens to be in my email. I don't rely on my computer because, well, my computer can be stolen at any time. I want to be able to access all my files remotely.
You can actually, sorry, Dan, you can actually ask AI to help you build file structures.
Yeah, you can also just do it yourself.
But if you don't know what
if you really need the help, though, the AI is
Yeah.
there too. So here's some mixing with AI. Christy, I love this tie-in. She's the queen of transfers right now. Ask AI, help me prepare for more success. What are the things, the systems, the trainings I need to have under my belt, competencies I need to have to move forward in my career?
For me, quadruple up that training.
It's not even that. It's just exposure to it, Kevin. You had 3 months at a different brokerage and you didn't even have your license yet. They didn't even tell you need to get your license.
That's what I say. Exactly. I was like moving at a snail's pace. Like, what is happening here?
It's
And
okay
that's
that
why-
you're a Colts fan. We know that your brain doesn't move all that fast, but you should be at least licensed, right? No, I'm only kidding. We know that,
Exactly.
Kevin. It might have been
You're
his
not
son.
wrong.
But we do, and here's on me. Like if I haven't told you to send me a purchase contract or a purchase listing or a preview something, then shame on me. Every one of you has the opportunity to be successful more than you are today. Live a bigger life than you live right now. It doesn't need to be this, I live in the mansion at the top of a hill with 6 foot, actually I think there were 9 foot concrete statues staring at you when you walk in the front door. Mikey, we should have taken a picture. That was incredible. But
Creepy.
yeah, maybe success to you is you can decide to sleep in because you don't have to work that day. I don't care what it is. Where you're at right now, you may not be able to do that. But where you're going, build to it. My sister and I are having a conversation on the way to work today. She called me today and we're talking. And my sister's 40 years old. She's going through her nursing school. And we were talking and she made the sentence of, I can't even, if we were talking about kids in school, and she was saying, well, hell, our kids are being set up for failure because they'll have to hit the ground running because they can't afford to live otherwise. And she goes, hell, I can't afford to live. And I hit her with the yet. Reminding her that she's on the journey to make herself better. right? Going through nursing school and doing all this stuff. Yes, she's 40 years old. She's kind of late behind it. She's one of the oldest people in her class, but she's still young in comparison to her life. She hasn't gotten there yet, but she's building for a better version of her future. Yet, I'm getting there. I'm going there. You can't get there unless you're ready to get there. You will never arrive at your destination unless you've taken the journey. I was in a bunch of different classes. I've met John Maxwell a bunch of different times, and he always has the saying is people want to be me. They want to be on stage. They want to be talking to thousands of people. They want to write these books, but nobody wants to go where I've gone. Nobody wants to do the hard that I've done. No one wants to do the preparation to build the life that I live. And I looked him straight in the eyes and said, I do. I will go to every length possible to prepare myself for that next step. If that means sacrificing my health, I need to keep that in check. If that means sacrificing time with my family, I need to keep my priorities in alignment. If that means sacrificing time with my family and friends, I need to make sure that my schedule is protected. We all have balance and need. As we say, is a life by design. It's a beautiful sentence. So where do you want to go? Start prepping for that now. Prepare yourself for success. Daily meditation, exercise, CRM follow-up, executing on the principles. You're building for where you're going. If you are a solopreneur, an independent single agent running the entire business, Christina, like everything, doing everything yourself, Christina, overwhelmed by everything because you have so much going on, Christina, building for where you're going might be other people, leverage, might be systems, technology, right? She picked up some technology. She was texting with me, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. My weekend was kind of a blur. And we were talking about AI, we're talking about this, and she's heard me talk about Perplexity a lot. She was in the same class I was in when Perplexity was introduced. I've just been playing with her a year longer than she has. But now she has a piece of technology that's leveraged to help her build where she's going. And you're going to have to set up your AI the same way. You're going to have to prep it for your success. I need this type of response. I need this type of environment. I need this type of information. Don't go back so far for your CMAs, like blah, blah, blah. Set the guardrails. I spent 2.5 hours on Saturday researching OpenClaw, which is another AI environment, and how you have to set it all up. And it seems very cumbersome. But when you set it up right, when you prepare yourself for success, it becomes a magical tool. That stands so in congruence with your life. Like if you prepare yourself and you set your life up for success, it becomes magical. I had an agent tell me, this was 3 or 4 years ago. She's like, Dan, how do I get more listings? I said, how many lock boxes do you have? 1. Go buy 3 more. How many yard signs do you have? 1. Go buy 3 more. Well, how's that going to help me? When you have what you need to be successful, the universe kind of aligns with it. Now, I'm not saying go out there and buy 100 lock boxes and 100 yard signs to get 100 listings. But when you only have what you need, you're not going to get much more. And within a month.
And seeing that stuff makes the goal feel so much more reachable too.
Yeah.
Just having stuff like that right there.
Yeah, within a month, she took 3 more listings. Within a month, 3 more listings.
It also would drive you to recuperate what you've invested. When you're
Okay.
spending on that stuff, then you're going to be motivated to make that money back.
Every one of you, listen to that. Recoup what you've invested. How much did real estate school cost you?
About $800 something.
Okay, $800. How much
300.
your licensing, your MLS dues, your application fees, your brokerage sign on, all that nonsense cost you?
Over 1,000.
Okay. Now you're in this $2,000, right?
I paid even more this on Friday. So yeah.
Sure. But here's the thing, right? Is that not an investment into your business? Go get the recoup from it.
100%.
Here's a really tough conversation. What are you worth per hour? What are you worth per hour? What is that dollar amount? Do you know?
Unlimited.
If someone were to say, I need an hour of your time, what's it worth to you?
Could be zero, could be priceless, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, Kevin, you need to quantify that. It's not this metaphysical thing like, oh, it could be anything. No, there is definitely a number there. It's at what point is your time more valuable than they're giving you?
I say $100 an hour.
Okay, max $100 an hour. All right, Max. How long have you been licensed?
Well, not that long, but I say $100 an hour.
No, how long have you been
All
licensed?
my time.
Okay.
3 months.
3 months. Okay, that's 90 days. How many hours a day do you work? On average.
From 8 to 7 usually. So 11 hours, 10 hours of work technically, because then I'll take a little break or whatever.
So 10 hours a day. How many days a week?
7. Well, no, the weekends are I try to only do 6, but sometimes it runs over. But I dedicated a whole year to working on the weekends, doing open houses and making sure I'm working on the weekend. That's my trade-off.
So we got 50 hours during the day, you got 12 hours during the weekend, and you've been doing this at 62 hours over the course of 12 weeks. And if Max makes $100 an hour, then Max, have you made $74,400?
Nope. I haven't made $1 yet.
Right? Here's your investment, guys.
No, you said, but your wording, Dan, was if somebody wanted you for 1 hour, what would you charge them? And I'm not saying that would be my hourly rate.
That's exactly what I said. What are you worth per hour? That is your hourly rate. Don't try to wordsmith me and Ninja. You will lose. But when I said, what are you worth per hour? That is your hourly rate. What are you going to charge someone for an hour for your time? That is your hourly rate.
That's what I would like to be worth. Yes.
Here's the thing.
I would like to be worth 100 an hour.
You are worth it. Right now.
I know I am.
Worth it.
Yes, sir.
No, you guys talk about getting your money in your investment. That's $74,400. Max is invested in himself. I better see an investment come out of it, right? Every one of you need to think the same way. Every time you're on a call, every time you're in a class, every time you're doing an appointment, that is time that you are investing. And the difference between spending and investing is I spend money, it's gone. I invest money, I expect a return.
ROI, baby.
I know for a fact, Max, you're worth $100 an hour. You're a grinder, man. You're a hustler. You're building where you're going. Soon enough, $100 an hour is going to be cheap for you because you're going to push yourself to do it. I love you guys. You hear him? I committed to a year of working the weekends. He knew it's going to take some time. He knew it was going to be a ramp up. If you want somewhere different in life to be, right? Prepare for where you're going. You're going to have to put in some weekends. You're going to have to put in some holidays. You're going to put in some after-hour stuff. My sister and I were talking this morning. I wish the call was recorded you to hear this. She was talking. I think kids need to go to school from 8 to 5. She goes, what job can you get away with working 6 hours? And I laughed and I said, mine. And let's be honest, right? And I said mine. And my sister giggled and she goes, no, but look at what you've had to do to get there. I've already gone through the weekends. I've already gone through the 100-hour weeks. I've already gone through that. And even then, and she said, but Daniel, you work all the time. Yes, my sister is one of the only human beings that calls me Daniel. She's the only one who gets away with it. I will mute you otherwise. But she's right. I had to build for where I'm at. My wife and I are having this conversation on Sunday. We're sitting down. We have our kids are all sleeping. We're on the couch having a couple times some, I call it our best friend moments. We sit there and talk like best friends and really connect. And we were talking about the past. We're talking about when I was in the car business and how many hours I had to put in and how often I was away from the house. And she said, I don't know if our marriage would have survived that. I was like, I'm really glad it didn't. I'm really glad that our marriage didn't survive the car business. Our marriage killed the car business. It got me out of that environment and put me where I'm at. And it took me how many years to get to where I'm at? And I'm not even where I want to be. Because we had to build for where we were going. We had baby steps, right? We lived in a house that was far too small for all of us, and we got a little bit bigger house. And then we outgrew that house, then we got a bigger house. And then in that, we were growing and developing and growing and developing. And from there, it became we needed different systems, different methodologies, different structure. I'm at a place where I need an accountant, not just a H&R Block person, right? You're building for where you're going. You may not be at a place now where you need that financial planner, the investment planner, your broker, coach, mentor. But is that the person you need when you get there? Then get them now. Well, I don't have a file structure. I don't need it yet. Well, are you going to need that when you get there? Then have it now. Am I making sense for you guys today? Because your dollar per hour indicates what you're worth. And every time you spend time working on yourself, demand that type of growth. I used to work for $17.77 an hour. That was my big boy job coming out of high school. I was a senior manager at Lowe's working the night shift from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. I loved it. $17.77 an hour. It's like $37,780 a year. I will make $37,780 next month, if not more. Are you where you want to be? Probably not. But what tools, resources, people do you need in your life when you get there? AI is just the starting point of that arrow. Gary Keller says, invest in people first. Who's the very first person you should invest in? Everyone, let me see your thumbs. Let me see your thumbs.
Bill.
Lean them back. Right? That's the first person you invest in. That's why I was hard on Max. He's like, oh, that's not my dog. That is your dollar per hour. That is your hourly rate. 100%. You are worth every dollar. It's a discount. Doesn't mean you're working 24/7. Right? I did my hourly rate. I'm worth like $24 an hour. I just get paid 24 hours a day. But use technology to invest in you first. Use it to learn, grow, develop your skill set to where you're going becomes easier to get to. Okay? Invest in people first. The very first person, that guy or gal. What's today worth your time?
Definitely.
I love you. I mean it when I say I want to see you all live bigger, better lives. Whatever that means for you, I will do everything I can to help you get there. It's going to require some sacrifice, some struggle, some strength. But success is simple, not easy. I believe everyone on this call will also cheer you to the finish line, won't we?
Yes, we will.
And Eric, I'll drag your ass if I need to.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they'll call me Big Dan. It's not because of my stature. It's because of my effectiveness. I'll see you guys in the morning. Till then.